Yussus, man. How freaking awesome. It's episode 10. Lekker soos 'n krikke. So we have now chatted to 14 South Africans so far who are living in Europe. And it would be super cool if we could branch out to hear from South Africans living in the UK, Australia, and the USA. Seeing that these three countries are the top destinations that South Africans have moved to. And it would also be really kiff to hear from South Africans still living in SA, to gain a perspective from another angle, and to listen to their life stories. Being an expat in the Netherlands, I am always so comforted when chatting to family and friends in South Africa with their powerful stories of resilience, tenacity, and sheer will to make the most out of their daily lives, in spite of all of the struggles. The more stories I hear, the more proud of being South African I become. And it's an absolute honor for me to connect with people who are all heart, as South Africans are. Speaking about all heart South Africans, our guest today is a Kerel van die Perel, born in Paarl, Western Cape. He has experienced life in South Africa, mischievously exploring the diverse landscapes during his youth, studying mechanical engineering in Stellenbosch University, and finally landing himself in the city of gold, Johannesburg. He traveled to China for work and to South Korea and America for Taekwondo. And following his motto of just start and go from heart, it led him to discover a new lifestyle in the Netherlands, to become an Echte Nederlander. So let's explore his fascinating journey through his path of least resistance, the time horse way. And let's meet Bran horse. So how's it, everybody? We are back. Welcome, Bran.
Thank you so much. Echt hartstikke bedankt that I can be here at the centrum van Utrecht. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. And yes, my name is Bran. Call me Bran Horse if you want to, because I have a YouTube channel called Time Horse 420. It's basically me promoting myself, because the way the world works today is promote. And it is basically my life struggle from going from in South Africa, having everyone's got a bit can we swear on this podcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Everyone's had a bit of shit in their lives and shit that they've had to deal with, and getting over those and coming basically to the Netherlands, rebranding myself in a way, and from here building onwards and upwards.
So that's Time Horse 420.
Time Horse as in time,
Yes.
horse as in a freaking horse, and 420 as in hashtag 420.
Okay.
That story we'll get into another time.
Perfect. But you've also got this scenario of why you went into the name Time Horse.
Yes.
Do you want to explain a little bit about that before we go into your life story?
I would love to go into a very, 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 very long explanation about that, but I'll keep it short. The Time Horse way is nothing new. The methodology is tried and tested. It's just rebranding the same package that it makes sense to myself. Time is literally time. It's how much time we have left, how much time we have available. As you get older in life, time becomes less. We all have the same 24 hours in the day,
Yeah.
but you got to make use of what you've got. Horse, that's the metaphor for work. You got to put in the work over time,
Absolutely.
consistently.
Yes.
Because so many people start things,
Mm-hmm.
but not enough people have the discipline and the consistency to just keep hacking away at it one step at a time until you achieve your version of success.
100%. I love that. I love that. And that's a great brand.
It's pretty much working consistently over time towards good, and then good things must come.
Yeah, 100%.
There you go.
I love that. I'm actually giving you a fat high 10 because
Yes.
I live my life like that.
Excellent. I love it.
And what you put in is what you will get out.
Yes.
And so also to just come
Geiger.
back to the time and the having things to just go step by step. It's a big lesson for me in my life because I'm constantly at the bottom of the berg.
Yes.
I see the top and I just want to fly there.
So many people see, we see what we want. I know what we want. Sometimes we don't even know what we want, but we see these big things and people with nice things like, wow, I want that. That's so nice. And if you live close to it,
Yeah.
like let's say, for example, if you live in close to a very wealthy neighborhood and you see these people drive past and they're fancy, fancy cars and they're big, big houses and you're like, mother fluffle, what have they
Pretty much
done?
how I grew up. I was friends with all the rich kids and I was just not a rich kid.
I know. It's like we never had without,
Yes.
but
Yes.
but you could see.
But you didn't have the excess they had. And it was
Exactly.
always like, oh,
So anyway, and I've lost train of thought. But the
we
point
were
is
onto the mountain, bottoms, take it step by step by step.
That's how you eat an elephant, one
Yeah.
step at a time. You
Ooh,
just
let's not eat elephants. I love them.
it's a metaphor, but that's the time horse way. You just need to focus on something good. It can be vague, but just head in the direction of good, and work at it consistently.
Yeah.
And then you'll learn by doing. Things will.
Shift and shake.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this follow the jiu-jitsu way. Follow the path of least resistance.
Absolutely.
If you keep banging your head against something, be it I can't find a location, or I'm not fit enough, or my farts stink too much, whatever is holding you back, it can be absolutely silly. If you're hitting your head against something, just keep heading towards good, and then find another way. That's banging your head here. You follow the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Find another angle. Approach it from a different angle.
Come from heart instead of from head.
Exactly.
When you come from head, there's total resistance and you're totally hitting your head against the wall, as they say.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah. Go
There we
from
go.
heart. How
Just-
does it feel?
Just start, go from heart. There we go.
Just start, go from heart, have a fart. No, I'm joking.
Well, one of my
I had to put
one
that
of
in.
my business ideas I don't want to share, on it, but it does involve farts.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. For now, let's
For
start
now.
out where you were born.
Yes,
You said you're a Kerel from the Perel.
it's a Kerel from the Paarl, born under the big Mount Rock of granite grey, and I spent my formative years there, being rather mischievous with a bunch of great mates who I'm very fortunate in my life to still have contact with
Wonderful.
many of them, and come from a traditional school, all boys, wear the uniform, and yes, we just got up to mischief, and was there until my 20s. I was fortunate enough to travel a bit before going to university.
Cool.
I went to Stellenbosch when I was in my early 20s,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. I failed on my bum, but I had a great time doing that.
Yeah. Failure is where we learn, though.
That's
Failure
where
is
we
where we
learn.
learn.
And
That's where
then,
we humbled.
And then I moved up to Johannesburg with my parents. I don't know if you've picked up on the
I
t-shirt.
did 011.
011.
So shout out to 011.
Josie all the way.
Josie Gangster Paradise.
GP. And that's where I met my wonderful wife.
Of course,
And,
of course.
After some time there. And since then, we got married. We had some kids.
What did you study? I'm going to take you back
Oh,
to
okay,
the
let's-
bottom of the mountain. So what did you study when you... First of all, where did you travel?
Okay.
And then what did you study?
I traveled to South Korea and
nice.
America to train taekwondo.
Okay.
I was pretty good at kicking things
Oh, nice.
in my younger days.
It's an expression.
It's exactly pretty much what taekwondo is. We kick things. We don't punch them, but we kick them. We kick them well. And so then I went to Stellenbosch University. I was very fortunate to be enrolled as a mechanical engineer. But maybe not the best engineer. I can take the engine out and I can put it near, but ask me anything more than that, it gets a bit much. And so then I went to the Technikon Pretoria before it became the TUT.
Okay.
And
Tat.
the tit,
The
the
tat.
heilige tit van die lywe. And then there I finished my mechanical technical engineering degree.
Okay.
Yes.
So cool. And then you came up to Josie. Did you start working? Did you get into the workforce or...
I managed to, while I was studying, go work in China for a year.
Oh, wow.
Which was quite an experience. with a bunch of rough and tumble South Africans. I was one of the younger blokes on the crew, but we worked in a very small town called Auto in the Guangdong province.
Wow. But you can take the South African out of South Africa, but you can never take the South African out of the person.
We'll touch that when we come to the Netherlands, because now we're going to go down a deep road.
Yeah.
But
let's go back to Joburg. You met your wife. What were you doing? So you studied still. I mean, you were.
Yes, I studied. I've worked in many jobs. Jack of all trades, master of none. We'll get down that road another time. But we've had many failures. We've had tried, because of the sparse job market in South Africa. It's hard to find a job. Then
also to keep it, because things constantly change in the organizations and according to
there's
laws.
Not enough electricity, and we can't push out enough product, and so we have to let some people go. And we all know this as South Africans. Many of us can relate to that sad story. And I've tried companies of my own. I've had two. Both failed because of myself and external influences. I'm not going to put all the blame on.
What were you doing in these companies?
Oh, it's neither here nor there. I was doing some construction and some recycling. It's
just a general idea,
Yeah, just we tried something. And then we got to a point where it's like, okay, we feel unsafe. We don't see any sustainable future opportunities right here. My wife was working for one of the major banks where let's just say she hit a ceiling, and she deserved more, I deserved more, and we felt like we needed to put ourselves in a place where effectively, which I've come to learn now, the Netherlands it's like the land of opportunity. It really is. We were considering America, we were considering Australia. Many of our friends are moving to Australia.
Yes, there's been a huge influx.
There's people, other friends in UK, and because my wife, unfortunately, her grandmother fled the Netherlands in World War II.
Like my granddad.
There you go. To South Africa, and she and my children have Dutch nationality through ancestry. I do not, but I am in the process of becoming an Echte Nederlander.
Echte Nederlander.
Echte Nederlander. We can talk about that later. And yes, Netherlands just became a very easy option. I wanted to re-qualify myself. I then entered into Utrecht University. That's how we ended up over here. I applied to Delft, Twente, Groningen, Amsterdam, Utrecht, and I got accepted at Utrecht University to do a master's degree in energy science, which is all renewable energy.
Okay.
And it was something that I can relate to because I want to make the world a better place.
Of course.
And yes, it was difficult.
Yeah.
No, these.
So basically, that's what made you guys decide to leave South Africa, to come here to get a better opportunity, to find a better lifestyle, to be in a better space where it's safer.
If anyone's in their middle ages and have children,
yes,
safety for the children first.
Yeah.
Then it's not just opportunities for us.
Yeah.
But opportunities for them going forward, and they can integrate into this beautiful culture effectively.
Well, my sisters and I and brother and I have our Dutch passports because of my granddad. My mom, unfortunately, not, but there's some technicality, so we're busy still working on that.
Rules and regels.
She's here, though, for the residential. She's here for 5 years, but we moved here. Well, I was the first one to start it because I could see as an entrepreneur and as a single woman, it was very difficult to have a lifestyle that wasn't bordering burnout and mental stress of anxiety to sleep at night because I was too scared. So yeah, I decided to come out this side, and I noticed it was easy for me because I had the Dutch passport. But I did notice that even if I didn't, it would still be a place for people to come and enter into because there's jobs available here.
So much.
There's opportunities, like you say. There's safety.
Wow.
And my sister and her kids, they're now here. Her kids are 4 and 6 this year. So for her, it's like, you know, she used to have this pre-programmed thing in her head when she would leave her driveway in the morning and the kids were buckled in the back in their car chairs. And in her head, it would run through, okay, anybody comes to your window, wants to grab, has a gun, unclick, get them out, run.
Check in blind spots. It came to a point where I carried a pistol every day. I worked in one of my businesses was in a industrial area down on it was in near Galuli's interchange, Harrietdale. I was in partnership with the business over there, and my business partner was shot at.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
And fortunately, he survived. They just wanted his watch, which they took and left.
Yeah.
And it came to a point where I was taking different routes home every day.
Yeah. There's such a programming in the mental survival state. So the subconscious kicks in and it's like the ego goes, you have to be safe. So now these are the rules. And now when I'm here, I feel like...
I'll tell you a quick story exactly as you exhaled. I had that same feeling. You can't explain it until you...
Get you.
Until the monkey's off your back. Where we live right now, we are very fortunate to be renting in a rather nice neighborhood, and there is a big gate close to our house.
Yeah.
The first 3 months, because it's a student city. I love it. It gives it a bit of energy, a bit of vibe, and there's, I was also there. There were drunk students, stumbling around at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And often we get woken up at like around, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
The 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after 2. This big bang. Bang! Some drunk student has, cycled into the gate.
Yeah.
But my initial reaction was within this first few weeks, as soon as I heard that, because we moved here in May 2021, I had no firearm with me. I had a big lead pipe. I was up. I was awake.
Yeah, it's reactions.
I was checking windows.
It's instilled in you.
I was good. I was, action man. We got to get, just lock the doors, keep the family in the bedroom, stand at the top of the stairs. Oh no, it's just another drunk student.
Balloon popped when I first came here, and I literally found myself ready to dive onto the floor. And people around me were just walking so casually, and then I was like, "Oh, Janine, it's a balloon popping," and that's when it switched for me.
And it took me. It's not an instant moment, but it took me a few months, and then after a while, I was literally walking through the city, and then I was like, "Oh, it was late at night. I think I went to go throw the garbage away," and there were some gentlemen approaching me.
Walking home.
2 tall men approaching me. Like, these dudes are just walking home. But
you're alert.
I'm actually
ready.
I'm safe. Yeah, I can let that go, that anxiety, that constant.
But it's a time process. So how long have you been here? When did you leave?
May 2021. We've been here just under 2.5 years.
Okay. That's cool. And how many kids do you have?
2.
Oh, nice.
2.
Ages?
No, we get 4 and 6.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
two
Maybe
young
you and my
daughters.
sister and her family must get together with you, your wife and your
And
family.
we have a bottle.
Yeah, a bottle.
A bottle
A
chip.
bottle. A chop and a dop, man.
Chop and a dog. That's if you can stand the Dutch meat.
No, she's got a good South African supply of meat, so.
I can introduce you to a Dutch butcher who makes a lekker boerewors.
Oh, well, she's got a guy that's South African making boerewors, and they actually sell boerewors rolls here, so.
Oh, I saw the board.
But then I wanted to ask you, though, do you still have family and friends? Obviously friends in South Africa, but family or?
Yes.
So, okay, so your mom, dad?
I'm an only child.
Okay.
So, but I have many cousins, and my parents are still alive.
Nice.
And they are.
Thank God.
They are in South Africa, and it's tough.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
But we've had that discussion where they know why we're doing this, and it's a sacrifice on both our parts that we don't get to have them watch their grandchildren grow up, and.
That's interesting. I just want to interject there because this is also why I'm doing the podcast, is I want people that are listening in South Africa to understand that, yes, there is this freedom, there is this greatness about being here, the safety, the opportunities, the jobs, but there's a lot of sacrifices that come. And one is family that you leave behind. 2 is also this understanding that you will never be not South African. And you will always miss the South African air, the weather, the people, the landscapes, the scenery, everything about that place still exists, but here you're in a new place. So there's a lot of...
There's just those mental links to your youth, to growing up, to good times, whether you had there were some good connections.
Yeah.
There will always be.
Yeah.
And it kind of touches on the point where I think as a first wave immigrant, we will never be fully Dutch.
No.
We'll always have. You can Duolingo as much as you want.
I know. I've tried that route.
Keep being consistent.
Exactly.
And we will always speak with an accent. Een beetje van een accent. We kunnen misschien een beetje Nederlands leren.
Een bikkie.
Een beetje.
Een beetje.
But our children and their children.
Yeah, of course. Look, my sister's kids are already Dutch speaking, so been in school for 1-2 years now and already picking up the lingo quick. Exactly.
If they come over at an early age. Yeah. We've met so many South Africans here.
Yeah.
Just walking yesterday on the bus.
Yeah.
I was eavesdropping on a very knappe jonge South African lad trying to explain what BEE is to a non-South African gentleman who, I don't know where he came from, maybe Iran or Pakistan, I don't know. But they were having a dick chat.
Dicker chat. Eh?
Dicker chat. And then what he was saying was perfect.
But isn't it nice to hear that?
It's like, I had a funny moment last summer where I was on my bicycle and I was feeling all Dutch. And I saw another gentleman in his South African rugby jersey throwing out the garbage. And as I cycled past, I rang out, ding ding. I'm like, goeiemorgen.
Goeiemorgen.
Hallo
Oh,
man,
I missed that. Do you remember morgen is nog 'n dag?
Yes, morgen is nog 'n dag.
No, that's cool. That's really nice to know that, at the end of the day, there are more South Africans coming in here. And this is another reason why this podcast makes me feel so good, because through my sister and her husband having the shop and them introducing South African foods, it has really brought out of the woodworks the South Africans that are living here. We did a search and it came up to like 22,000 South Africans are living in the Utrecht region. 22,000. And I think to myself, that is amazing, because then we at least get some of the foods that we remember. We get the people. Your kids can also know where they come from by still having this, because even though second, third generation are not going to be, there's still the root to South Africa.
Definitely.
And
that'll bring me on to 2 points. With the South African communities, they are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. They are organizing South African days with boerensport and and a braai, and these things are happening. But not a bad but I do feel, as an immigrant to this country, I do feel obligated at least to make the Dutch culture part of my own.
Oh, of course.
Own way. It's not like I'm going to come in and kick the door down.
No.
I'm a South African and I am.
You have to merge it. You have to merge it, because you cannot come in here and be South African and expect South African ways and feels, because it's impossible. And you're coming into a place, so it's the hospitable thing for you to do.
It's the way my parents raised me, to be polite, to come, to just wees ordentlik, okay? Come, and be kind.
Yeah.
Do some good. Be thankful.
And integrate.
And integrate. Don't forget where you come from.
Yeah.
But don't go and
break all the rules and be also rebellion about it. Yeah, learn some of the language as much as you can.
Try a bitterbal at least once and be like,
proberen.
Sure. Dit is echt lekker.
Heerlijk.
Wil je nog een? Nee, dank je. Dutch food. As South Africans, I suppose many expats will comment on Dutch food and directness.
Oh, there's so many YouTube clips and Instagram reels about Dutch food and how...
It's true.
And the Dutch people will agree with you. Their food has never been their masterpiece.
No, they
are terrific in other ways.
Fantastic people.
Yeah.
They've conquered the age-old joke. I'm sure many people will say this on your podcast, but I'm going to be one of those irritating people.
Tell us.
Die Nederlanders. They've traveled, they've conquered the world in search of spice. They just never learned how to use it.
And they never knew Robertson spices.
What's the other one? Can you remember that advert with...
I remember so many adverts.
The couple on the back of the game vehicle, and he's the wife, like South Africans, we have like a chicken leg and a boiled egg in a bit of tin foil with like a soggy sandwich, and then like a banana that's now bikkie bent and like so now you...
A bit dark.
Exactly. And then she takes out a chicken wing and then she puts out some spices for her husband. And she's like, what's that? And it's buffalo. Like, what? Buffalo. It's like, what spice is buffalo? And then the whole game stopped.
Yes, I remember that
Where's the
actually,
buffalo?
yeah.
Like, no, buffalo, herbs and spices. So we've got, yes.
No, cool, man. Listen, I tell you what, we can speak about South African stuff and differences here, but I do enjoy the Dutch culture. Being Dutch myself, because remember, even though I lived in South Africa, every Saturday I was at my Dutch grandparents' house. They had a Dutch Netherlands, it was called the Dutch Club.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
would go
think
there every Thursday. They'd go there every Saturday, play bingos, play all their games, bridge and
Did they sit in a
Yahtzee and all of that.
Did
And
they
they
sit
sit in
in-
a circle.
sit in a kringetje?
Oh, yes, yes. They even had one of those lights that you could pull down, you know.
Oh.
So it was up in the top
Echt
of the ceiling. You
Nederlands.
can, Echt Nederlands. But I think at the end of the day, it's also important that even if I was in a different country, where you're living, you have to integrate. Otherwise, you're going to have that resistance. So we're looking for the path of least resistance.
And you want to make it just be good. That's the time horse way. Just be good, embody good. Don't be bad. Just be good. And if you are good, people will welcome.
I think
good.
that comes to the point of self-regulating.
Yes.
People don't know how to self-regulate. There's too much going on in their lives. Don't have time. But understand, all your anxiety, all your negativity, all of these emotions that you're feeling are coming from no rest, no sleep, no food, no good food, should I say, no water.
It's also the way the world is right now. I mean, social media is being pumped in our face.
I
with,
know, but I don't do much social media. I'm going to say that I'm actually okay with that for now
That's
because I
fine.
find it huge noise.
It is.
And
but
it sucks me in a time loop, and then I look again, and
3
it's
hours
like,
later.
yeah, and I'm like, no,
I've
where did that time go?
I want to show you. I've actually put a warning label on my phone. It says danger. Because I'm highly, you go onto the
I love
TikToks and
it. I
the
love it.
Instagrams
I know,
and
and
the
you go in a
YouTube
loop.
shorts. Like, I'm just quickly going to check something.
Exactly, and then the algorithm shoots something out at you, and you're like, oh, I can't not watch this.
Oh, yes. They've tapped into my monkey brain. Like, the endorphins are just like fizzing. And it's like, oh, yes, another one. I need to learn how, sheep shearing is just great. And then you watch these
You
videos
never
of
knew,
people
you never knew you needed to know that.
Exactly.
You never knew. But I want to now ask you, describing the first 3 months, or let's say the first 6 months of coming into the Netherlands, because your wife and your kids are Dutch citizens, it could have been an easier process than if not. So my sister had the same thing, but there was a lot of influx of information coming. So when you're a citizen here in this country and you have children, it's revered into the utmost importance. And
Yes.
the influx of mail, like from South Africa with no mail, coming into this country and seeing how much mail I receive and they received because they've got children and I don't, I was just like, wow, this can be so overwhelming for people when they come here. But it's also very reassuring that your kids are looked after.
Your child gets checked up at. We had to have vaccinations checked. Not that you need. Okay, just
No.
they're just checking
your
that you've
normal
got.
vaccinations
And
that you would
then-
do
and
for your
then-
kids.
And then the nurse will come. They'll make an appointment with you because that's echt een afspraak maken. And we're going to come to your house.
Afspraak maken.
And then we're just going to just like a very friendly chat. Is everything okay? They're just making sure that I suppose you're not bliksem the crap out of your child.
But isn't it strange that you could never get that in South Africa?
In South Africa, no, there are systems.
It's up to you, buddy. Get on with your thing. You know what I mean?
This is what I will. One of the greatest qualities of
Even in the Netherlands,
in
guys,
the-
we just had a guy begging here, and we were
Exactly.
both not sure what to do. South African heart, I wanted to
Exactly.
jump up and help, but in this moment right now, we're busy prating.
But this is a good segue to what I was going to say.
Okay.
In the Netherlands, there are. Want dit is Echte Nederlands. Systems.
Yes.
There are systems in place. It's systems when it comes to healthcare. There's systems when it comes to dealing with zwijgers on this, beggars,
Yes.
effectively.
Yes.
They are looked after. It's not. They are very affordable systems to get them back on their
There's
feet.
also all these houses around that they can go and get a bed for the night, and they can go get a
it's clean,
meal.
and it's
Yeah. It's a difference, eh? Because also the people that beg from me here, to be honest with you, Bran, they don't have that same look in their eye that
No.
the South African beggars do. And,
That-
and
that-
honestly,
that-
it used to hit my heart daily when I
that
was living there.
desperation. Because that's
Like real desperation.
like this is the. I mean, I see a lot of the zwijgers here. Like, okay, there's something. Maybe you've got an addiction. Oh, can I tell you? Okay, no, come on. Let me quickly finish off the system point. The system.
Okay.
There are systems when it comes to school, checking on your children, getting a job,
Going to the doctor.
going to the doctor. I mean, Yeah, we'll go down that road another time when you invite me back for another
Part two.
Part two.
Part two. Deel 2.
Dale 2. Yeah, there are systems, and you just got to learn how to use them. It's like almost as if tax.
We don't know how to work them because we've never had systems.
Because it's
Bran.
almost like the government uses the tax money efficiently.
Yeah, but listen to me. When I came here, I was the same as we were with being alert for security reasons. I had the same mindset of like, nobody is going to even bother that I'm in this country, but no, not a chance. And when you start to learn the systems, the resistance only comes from the fact that you didn't know.
Yes.
Because you've never had these systems in South Africa, and that's
that-
hence why there's load shedding.
And that's the time horse way.
and-
You've got to learn by doing how to use these systems. I've been trying to open a bank account for a week and a freaking half. Normally, you would just walk in. Can I have a bank account, please? Yes. Okay, sign this, copy my ID.
Wait in the line first, come
No,
on,
no,
and
now
wait
you-
for your number to be
now
called.
you've
There
gotta-
is that process in South Africa.
I mean, yes.
Wait in the line, wait for your number
Exactly.
to get called.
Get
and then
called.
after half an hour, hi, can I help you?
Yes, and here's your
But then
paperwork.
you can do it
And
there
that's
and then.
There and then. But now here you got to go into the app and you got to chat and then if you, and we're busy right now. We'll get back to you within half an hour. But then they message you while you're doing a podcast and like, oh, now I got to start all over again. And it's just
Yeah.
the
It's frustrating because also they do have a few banks that you can walk into here. But when you walk in, you have to have an afspraak. If you don't get
Yes.
out, you can maybe draw or no, maybe not even draw money anymore because a lot
No.
of the ATMs are disappearing in the city.
exactly.
But it's just so crazy that you can walk into this bank to ask them questions, but you can't do any banking.
No, it's like
It's almost like,
I
what?
literally went into a bank today. It's like I want to open it. I've tried. This is the process that I've followed. I'm failing on my bum. I just can't. I'm going to throw my phone through the freaking window. Can you please help me? He's like, no. Here's the app. Go to that chat function. But I've done that already. Anyway, but
You just
let's-
want a human
Yeah,
sitting in front of you saying,
yes.
hey, how's it?
And maybe we can, reach out to. This is another thing that gripes me. Like what I wanted to say earlier, there's a different level of, a different class, shall I say, of beggar.
Yes,
Netherlands.
yes.
And quite
Different degree of desperation.
or a lot less.
Yeah, because also when you say no, they leave you, generally.
yes, and
Generally. I've
like
had once somebody follow
they'll-
me for a bit, but
they
it wasn't
will, They will
anything
stand
hectic.
outside the grocers,
Yeah.
the majors, the AHA or the Jumbo, until they get what they want. They enough euro to go get their next
Whatever
hit,
they have to do.
and
yeah.
then they'll walk away. They won't hassle you, but
And there's no theft of your
no.
things. You never feel like the
a bicycle will get stolen here and there.
Yeah, but I'm
and
talking about when a beggar. So in South Africa, I've had moments where I've been almost duped into this. Like maybe it's syndicates doing it, but the beggar
Oh, yeah.
ends up taking more from me because now you can see that he's in a more stronger position than I am. So when I'm now actually helping somebody here, I never feel that feeling of he might attack me. He's actually just like, great, give me the money, thank you.
It's become a profession in South
Yeah.
Africa. But here, I actually had started talking to one of the guys, and we were having a straatfeest, which is another thing about the Netherlands, which is amazing. The government sponsors
It's amazing.
street parties.
Street parties, parades, carnivals every now and again. There's so much that happens in the city here that you can just waltz into.
There's almost always something to do, but
Street
we've
party.
recently had our street party where it encourages neighbors to interact with each other.
Hey, that's another thing, hey? You get to know your neighbors here in South Africa. I've
Big
I've lived in
walls.
places for years and not known the neighbors.
But here, they actually, once a year, you
Yeah.
get, it's a little bit, a stipend maybe, but just to get like a paar bitterballen and make a pasta salade.
Met some kaas. Jy moet die
Beetje
kaasblokjes.
en een paar kratte Heineken. And
Of le chouf.
but yeah, the chef of Jan
Of wat is dat, een leffe?
Jan Hertog of een leffe blond
Ja,
triple
leffe blond triple.
of een IPA.
Yes, you know your beers, hey?
And
Do you remember Lion Lager?
yes, I do. But it encourages the community, your street, to get to know each other. So if you see somebody walking down the road, it's like, hey, that
Yeah, but can I tell you how it goes further here?
That-
People get your keys. Neighbors give neighbors keys.
they do.
So that if post comes or if they're away or and that's how it works. And it's kind of like for my South African brain, what the hell? I would never.
Yeah.
But they do that.
You will literally have your neighbor's post delivered to your house.
Yeah,
Like,
and then they pop
they-
in a
they-
little bit later and
hello,
hi, thanks
hello."
for taking it in for me.
Exactly. Oh, pleasure.
Everybody trusts everybody. It's actually bizarre sometimes,
It
but
is.
it's nice.
The amount of
nice.
times I have forgotten my smartphone strapped to my bicycle in the city, and then to come back 2 hours later and it's still on my bicycle
Yeah.
is amazing.
We've had a few of those incidents with tablets, iPads. My sister also left a whole trolley bag outside this one store, Bones Marked. We flew out the next day to Portugal. She realized it wasn't there. She phoned them. No, they put it inside for her. But there, when we were looking and the store was closed, I'm like, come, we've got to search down the bottom here by this alley, because if they've taken it, they've stripped it and thrown the bag.
And then you're looking for, like, somebody's stolen your purse, and you look for, like, your cards or your keys
or your bag.
or something.
Because they would have just ditched the bag.
Exactly,
You know, it's so Wild West, actually.
It is. And it actually happened to my wife just 2 weeks ago. She was exercising, and, you know, here you don't have a fancy car, you have a fancy bicycle.
Yes.
And her bicycle, it's an electric one, which is, it's not cheating, apparently.
Yeah. If you know how to drive these bloody things.
Exactly.
I tried to drive one and I ended up doing the work of the bike, and the
Exactly.
bike was chilling.
But she forgot her keys with the bicycle unlocked. So somebody came past, locked it for her, went to the counter, because she parked at the entrance, and handed her keys and said, I think one of your clients has
Left their keys.
in the bicycle.
Amazing, hey.
Well, that almost in a way, that is the spirit of Ubuntu.
Exactly, and I think that's what I was just going to say to you. That's what we should in South Africa be embracing. But everybody is so out for themselves, because you have to be. It's like being thrown into the Kruger National Park and saying, go.
Go. It's almost,
Sort yourself out. And then living here, it doesn't have that feeling.
yeah.
So everybody can care
So
for
if
everybody
you-
else,
if
because
you-
everybody's got an iPhone
So
and an iPad. And
South Africans, we
Samsung.
preach the spirit of Ubuntu.
yeah, when there's a rugby game,
If you want to experience Ubuntu,
you come
kom,
here.
kom naar Nederland.
Yeah,
Ja.
yeah. Kom vir se kaas.
Kom vir 'n stukkie kaas, 'n bietjie
Dis-
borrelen.
yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
what are you doing now in the Netherlands, and how is it going?
Doing now, I said that the Netherlands is literally the land of opportunity right now. There is Nederlanders. When I talk to, like, not just expats, but
Proper Netherlands locals.
Echte Nederlanders,
Yeah.
there is so much opportunity if you're just willing to pull up your freaking socks and start something. It's safer to start a business here, I would say. Yes, you've got to jump through many, many hoops to get it all set up. But if you want to go in, just become a handyman.
Yeah.
Or
There's
a
so
ki-
much
there-
opportunities.
there
They
is
embrace
so-
people working. They're a
They
very
do.
productive
And-
nation.
And you get paid a fair wage for your time. Sure, you've got to learn a bit of a skill,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I've done
If-
some comparisons with friends of mine who are working in Spain, for example, and the rates that you can charge here as an entrepreneur and the rates there for the same thing.
compare it to South Africa.
Yeah. Look, I mean, that's going 20-1. I'm talking about even just in Spain.
Not even just the exchange rate. There is a pride that, I think I'm using pride very loosely, but it's pride. There's pride in what you do. Doesn't matter what you do
Yeah.
in the Netherlands, as long as you do it well. If you're a handyman, in South Africa, you would go get the cheapest oak standing on the corner just to come, paint the wall or something. No, here in the Netherlands, you can find people to work on the black, but if you want a klusjesman or whatever they do,
Skilled. Yeah.
they will do it with pride. They can be a shoe polisher,
Yeah.
but they will do it well.
But they're very handy with their hands, and this
And-
is understandable because if you look at their history and you look at how they've had to keep the water out of their country
doesn't matter
and buildings they do.
Whether a doctor, because in South Africa we'd doctors, lawyers, accountants, these big jobs, the positions, or the branch manager or the general manager of whatever company, and then you would have the big middle class and then the flumfsies at the bottom. But here, it's a lot more equal. The Gini coefficient, because South Africa's got the highest Gini coefficient, the separation between poor and wealthy.
Okay.
Here, people still have, there is a wealth or financial separation, but the socializing between people it doesn't matter what you do, who you are.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
We can drink a beer together.
Yeah.
And that's, you can go because we went to
Everybody's respected for the talents and the
Exactly.
things that they're doing, the skills that they bring to the table.
We
Nothing's looked down on.
Exactly. We went to a local holiday park here in the Netherlands, like just for a weekend away. And on this side of our bungalow was a huge freaking, this guy had a lot of money. And then on the other side of us, there was a guy that, this is probably his family holiday for the year.
Yeah.
And we're all at the same place. It's not like you go to some fancy resort and you go to some crap resort. It's
Samen.
Samen.
Yeah.
And that is echt goed.
Sterke samen.
Exactly. To answer the question, I am currently working for a fantastic Dutch company where I pick up boxes and I count stuff. I don't want to be too specific, but it's
No, you don't have to go into it, but you're working for somebody, you're doing your podcast as a hobby.
As a hobby. I have
your YouTube.
My YouTube. I work 4 days a week because there's a huge push for work-life balance here in the Netherlands. They want people to be relaxed and happy and capable.
And not overworked.
And not overworked.
Yeah.
So I work 4 days a week. And then on the 5th day and Saturdays, then I'm just literally registered my own company. And I am actually talking to the company that I work for to see if there's any opportunities that I can then help them, help me, but we still, so I'm not like, screw you guys, I'm doing my own thing now.
Your company can help their company to be able to do it.
We're not losing touch, we're not burning bridges. We're growing together.
Well, that's nice. And I think you're right in what you said earlier about entrepreneurs being able to get more success here than in South Africa, for example. Because also, if you think about it, South Africans' disposable income goes to things like security, school, medical aid, more security on the house, armed response. When I say security, I mean actually on the property, you like wired in and zoned into your beams and all of that. And on the outskirts, you want somebody to come if you need to push that button. So when it comes to then an entrepreneur coming with a nice idea.
And you hope that they don't rob you.
Yeah, exactly. But then when you come up with a nice idea and you want to promote this, even if it's for a healing effect, people may want to do it, but they just don't have the money for it.
Exactly.
So when I come here and I explore these avenues, I find it a lot more ease. The options of what kind of a company I opened was, I've got an eenmanszaak. Yeah. So it's like a one-man band. But I also got a BV. I got it for Yussus. But that's also because we've got stock in Yussus. I don't know if you've gone to the website and seen the T-shirts and the caps.
Oh, I thought you were talking about stocks and
No, we've got, I wish. Well, we'll get there, right? We'll get there. I just actually pronounced the manifestation at play here.
Go on to the what's it? The FTSE 500.
Yeah.
FTSE 100. Yussus.
Yussus, but
I'm going to buy me some Yussus shares.
I'm going to get some Yussus shares. But I love that word because I do use it a lot, and I do notice that culture throughout South Africans, doesn't matter culture, race, age, gender, people are using the word Yussus. So to bring that as a podcast, because I started out with just the clothes, I didn't want to just do clothes. I realized there's too many of us here that can share our stories with one another and help each other to understand from a different perspective, because we're now understanding stories of different experiences. Your experience is totally different to the girl I chatted to you last week, Natalie. She was here for love. She fell in love with a Dutch man. My sister came here because she is Dutch citizen. I know other people that have come here because they're on a work visa or they want to study. So there's so many variety, or retire. A lot of South Africans have also come here to retire and be in a better space, also with the Dutch link. And saying that, where the Western Cape, I know from my own experience, I didn't live there, but I traveled there a lot. There is so much Dutch influence still there in the houses. In the language is slightly different, but it's originated from Dutch.
I will say this: if you think you can speak Dutch as a South African, you can't.
No.
If you think you're Dutch and you can speak Afrikaans,
you can't.
You can't. It's a whole new language. The roots are the same. If you speak it extremely, extremely slowly, you'll understand the concept.
Yeah.
But you won't get the finer details.
So my friend who's Dutch, if I speak to him in Afrikaans, or if he hears somebody speaking in Afrikaans, it's like in his head he can understand it,
He knows the concept, what's being spoken about.
But he doesn't know what
No.
you're actually talking. And that's how I feel sometimes when I first got here. I'm getting better at it. I can understand more. I also go do yoga in Dutch. That's all yoga Dutch. It's like,
You
okay.
need to put the time and work
Of course
in
you do.
consistently.
I've gone to school, Bran. I went and did grade 1.
Well
Yay!
done. Well done. Gefaciliteerd. Je
Dankjewel.
hebt geslaagd.
Dankjewel.
Congratulations.
Is there anything that annoys you about the Netherlands?
Oh, there's many things, but that's life.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm just a very annoyable person, and I love complaining about it. But we are not stopping at just complaining. We are
Okay.
doing as well.
Good.
It's about time.
But when I say annoying, I mean like there's certain things that do sometimes annoy me, and that is, for example, just picking out things like the time factor. I'm generally on time, but because of I know the reaction of the Dutch people who are especially on time, in fact, come 10 minutes before. And if you only get there at the time scheduled, you are considered late.
I struggle with time.
Me too.
Time horse. One of the things about the time horse way is manage your time correctly, and that is so important in the Netherlands.
But I just sometimes feel like if you focus so much on time, you're not living life. You're just on time. And I get that.
Yes.
There's respect. It's the way you've been brought up. But you come from a country like South Africa where time don't matter.
Exactly, African time. But
Yeah.
here it's like, okay, now it's time for work.
Afspraak is afspraak as well.
And now we work. Okay, it is now. It is now time for relaxation.
12:30 is now time for lunch.
But no, wij gaan eten, then we all eat lunch together, and it's a sandwich.
But again, there's your systems.
It's just okay.
It's a systematic way to live.
Now we all eat sandwiches together, boterhammen
Een boterham.
and boterham, and then you
Met een
work.
stukje kaas.
Then you work again, and
Of
then
een broodje gezond.
a broodje gezond, and then it is time to ontspannen.
Yeah.
Now we relax. Now we relax. So it's.
Look, I admire it in a way.
Yes.
But I also am a very colorful person in the way that I like the spontaneity and the adrenaline possibly
Yes.
of living on the cusp.
Living in the moment.
Going with the flow.
Yes. I too much, and the train of thought went way too far over there. But let's just reel it back in to the next question. Oh, what you asked me, what irritates me about the Dutch? Let's just maybe touch on one or two of those things. I've mentioned the food. It is extremely healthy, and I think I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life because of my diet. My cholesterol has gone down just because the food here is healthier, less preservatives. You literally go compare a can of Coke in South Africa to compare a can of Coke here. There's like less ingredients.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've never done that, but that's interesting.
Well, don't quote me on that.
No, but I mean, it's interesting.
As fact, but in general,
Yeah.
the quality of food is very good. Even though a lot of it is imported, the Dutch are very good at importing and exporting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Second largest in the world
yes,
for such a small country. Now you must know. But that's because they use their time well.
they are so good.
But they use their time well. So maybe
Exactly.
the resistance is from me to actually flow with their flow.
You must integrate as much as you can. Learn, take in everything. I had a martial arts instructor many years ago that said, try everything, keep the good, get rid of the bad. See
of
what
course.
works for you.
Tuurlijk.
What irritates me about the Dutch? I could go typical expat answer and be like the directness, and which could be considered as rude.
Yeah, I do find that too quite hard hitting, but you get used to it.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
I think as South Africans we enjoy, like, don't beat around the bush.
Yeah, don't sulk about it either.
No.
If you got something to say it and klaar.
Say it so that we can fix it, so we can move
Klaar.
on. Yeah. So
Finish and klaar.
and the weather.
Yeah.
The weather. But
Yeah. But that's not the Dutch's fault. That's just the
not their fault.
location. So yeah. But that's all right. I mean, those are.
as bad as the winters are. Dare I even ask you this? Are you getting the D?
The vitamin D.
Exactly.
I take tablets, especially in winter.
Me too.
And I pump myself with them. And then when I do see sun, I run like a demon out that door. And I'm
Exactly.
just like,
In the Netherlands, everybody needs the D.
Yep.
And so
Dare you ask.
dare you ask. So yes, the winters are a bit vervelend, but the zomers is fantastic.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's also because of the weather. I mean, the light staying longer.
And because maybe that ties into the appreciation and making use of time because there's so little summer.
Yeah, then they really go all out. Then it's summer holidays.
Life is lived to the fullest.
Yeah, but it's summer still, so what are we working so hard for?
There's
Wait for the winter
there's-
months, then we
there's a-
stay in the office and work.
Then we take our vitamin D pills and then and we grumble about the weather.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because the more podcasts I'm going to do, the more I'm going to see some similarities in what
Of
people
course.
are saying of South Africans, because we're all obviously experiencing similar things. But is there something that you miss about South Africa and something that you don't miss about South Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
No, what is it? Come on, explain.
Okay, things that I miss without showing too many feels through my voice, tone of voice, and on the camera. Friends and family.
Yeah,
It
friends and
is-
family.
Oh, it hits you right in the feels when you got some good mates. And it's like, oh, I just wish I could,
Get them over here.
It's like, hey man, what you doing?
Mm.
How about we play some PlayStation?
Yeah.
Let's come over for a beer. Should we go down to? Should we go down to the Jolly and just have like a pizza special and a beer? Watch the sunset. What are you doing now?
Yeah.
No,
Not just now. Now.
now. I'm chilling. Okay, then let's go.
Okay, I'll be with you now.
Yeah,
now.
You don't get to do that in Netherlands because
Yeah. Everyone books. Yeah.
Afspraak. So friends and family, missing them. Obviously, food.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of creature comforts. However, you can get jelly tots
Thank God.
if you know where to go. So it'll be okay. You can get jelly tots in the Netherlands.
Thank God for that.
And things that I don't miss. I feel so cliche right now, but
Yeah, but it's probably the answer I'm thinking of.
I don't miss my tax money being misused.
Yeah.
I don't miss feeling not safe.
Yeah.
I don't miss. It's like a tension that you can't explain until it's gone. I can't even put it in words.
No.
But it's
It's a breath. You can take a breath.
the monkey's off my back.
Yeah.
There's many monkeys on my back.
Yeah.
But that monkey is off my back.
Yeah, that crime element and that unsafety is very, very taxing to the system.
And because
And the South Africans living there right now don't actually even realize it. Because when I was living there, I didn't realize I was under this.
I'll tell you a story. For family reasons, I had to travel back to South Africa fairly quickly, not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a fantastic mate who let me stay at his house while I was there. And in this time, I was probably by my own fault, I either dropped and lost my wallet or I was pickpocketed. But
Okay.
my wallet was gone.
Missing.
I dropped it because in the Netherlands, somebody would have picked it up, walked into the first. We literally parked at the entrance of the shop where we were going to. I was driving around with a mate. I was helping him with some deliveries. Somebody would have walked in and said, "Hey, somebody dropped your wallet," and they would have walked in and given it to the counter.
And you would have been able to go
And
there and
I ran to security, but it was gone.
But nobody cares. It's almost like, oh, sorry, they numb to it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but
done.
it
You
doesn't
lost it.
doesn't
You
happen
shouldn't
now.
have lost it.
So anyway, I lost my wallet. Fortunately, I didn't lose my passport, but I lost my verblijfskaart.
Ugh.
So I couldn't get back into it now to apply for a new visa, and it was just. And then going through the South African Home Affairs it was painful. But
Taxing, huh?
in that time, a very good mate of mine, like a brother in fact, let me stay at his house, and we had a good catch up. And in that time, we went to Pick n Pay because like it's Saturday, let's just go. We'll grab a boerewors and we'll just like. And we walked into and he lives very close to where I used to live in South Africa. And we walked into the Pick n Pay and he said, "Oh, good, look, the truck has come today," because the shelves were full. And just before we left, we would frequent the same Pick n Pay, and there was never an issue. And literally in a year and a half, oh, good, we've gone from having not the best Pick n Pay, but it served us well, to like, oh, look, the truck has come today. The shelves look fuller, because we went a few days earlier. And I was like, hey man,
Nothing on the shelves.
it's like this, it's there, but like it looks leeg.
Yeah.
And that's I think the frog, the story of the frog in the cold water that gets turned hot quick, slowly. You don't realize. And yes, South Africans, are hardy and go-getters and we are tough. But now imagine if you take that go-getterness ship and you put it in a country like this one or other countries worldwide where you have the opportunity to flourish. It's almost like the locals of the country that you go to, and I find it in a way in the Netherlands as well. They are blind to the opportunities because they are happy of where they are in my job, in my 9 to 5. Meanwhile, with that bit of, hey, Yussus, my bro.
Yeah.
There's opportunities here. You just got to reach out and grab them, and you will be rewarded for it. Because I started talking to some of the, ZZ players, like handymen.
Yes.
No, I moved to a new city within 5 days. I downloaded this app. I took a couple of crap jobs, but within 5 days I was up and running.
Yeah.
I was supporting myself and my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like you're working crazy hours, because in South Africa you gotta work it from 7 to bloody 9. It's like, no, we arrive on the job site at 8 and we finish at 5 because our time is precious to us. Then in South Africa you are up at 4, so you can pick up your guys at 5, so you're on the job by 6, so you're starting by 6:30, and then because the delivery was late, because the roads are cuck, and then some
Pothole, somebody lost a tire.
All
the setbacks.
It's you want your concrete, you want your wood, you want it here at this time. It will be delivered at that time.
I think it's that you're taking this hardy go-getter from South Africa and you're sticking them into a place where everything flows. And some people are just overwhelmed with that, but it's also getting to the groove of it. I mean, my sister's opened up, her and her husband have opened this up within a year. They got here last year, June.
Flourishing.
They're on their feet. They've got it going. They're bringing in South African products. South Africans are coming here.
Work consistently over time towards something good. It's going to come to you.
I think that's the word of the day, consistency.
Yes, that's my brew. Come on.
Look, let's talk about a little bit more about the South African foods that you miss, the words that you love.
Jelly tots.
Jelly tots?
Jelly tots.
Okay.
I love you lots like jelly tots.
I love you lots like jelly tots.
So
okay.
I miss jelly tots. Cadbury, because I mean...
Yeah, I know. Milka's not so... Milka's not Cadbury.
It's not this...
I want a top deck.
My word, Janine. You have hit a
when that white chocolate and that dark chocolate mix.
And you can put it in the microwave as well, and then you just eat the white. They don't have top deck. But okay, I'm getting used to that. You can get Cadbury. There are expat shops here where you can get Cadbury.
Yeah.
It's just the quality of meat.
Yes, I've heard that as well. I've also felt that myself.
Because the beef here is generally it's not bred for meat. It's bred for dairy, and then it gets old, and then we are resourceful, and then it's nothing wrong with just a different flavor. But there are other steakhouses which if you're willing to pay, you can get a lekker steak.
A lekker steak.
And if you talk to your butcher, he will make things for you.
Which is also cool about this town, because or this city, or this country. They have butchers still.
Yes.
In certain villages, you can go to the butcher, you get your meat fresh.
Exactly. And he gets excited if you bring something like, can you make this for me? You see the guy's eyes light up because it's not the same every day. Where were we going?
And then we've got, so that's foods. Any other foods?
Foods. I've now found a milk out supplier.
Nice.
Because that's a thing for
big thing for you, yeah.
Because you always go, you walk into Woolies like, no.
What about rusks?
You got to take. I bake my own now.
Oh, nice. No,
but that's like
resourceful.
But then, I love my neighbor to bits. He's an absolute champion. And then I bake some rusks, and then I give him some rusks, and then he just butchers them. You dip them in your coffee. You don't. The way he eats it with his breakfast. But anyway, he does it wrong. He does it wrong, but he doesn't know.
Doesn't do it the South African way.
Other foods, soft serve, a dry roomys.
Oh yeah.
You can get it here, but it's we've got Roberto's in the city.
Italians.
They've got some good gelato.
Yeah.
I've got boerewors. I've got actually there are
biltong.
Biltong, yes. I'm not the biggest biltong guy.
Okay.
Don't crucify me.
No.
I love biltong. I love a sticky kudu. But you can get it here. You can get. So I don't really miss it. If I want it,
Milo.
Milo's a sore point for
Horlicks.
No, Milo all the way. You can get it at a stretch,
I know.
but then it's like you got to hoard it.
Yeah.
So
And 5 Roses tea.
you can get it as well.
Huh? Tell my sister. She needs to know.
Through what I want to promote both shops, but I can't remember both their names. But there are South African shops in the Netherlands. They're a quick Google away.
Yeah.
And you can have it delivered at your door. Oh, and Ghost Pops.
Ghost Pops.
Yes,
my God.
Cream soda. And
Cream soda. And what about a Coke float or a cream soda float? Met die ys.
oh my God. Kaapse restaurant in the Strand. The best waffles and cream soda floats in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done the food. What is your favorite expression or words of South Africa that you miss using here, or when you use it here, it gets lost?
That's a good one. I mean, other than Yussus,
Yeah, of course.
my favorite South African word is chips,
Chips.
but spelled TJIPS. Like a slap chips.
Chips.
It's like because I come from the Cape, Western Cape. Like a so yeah, chips, like a slap chips, like
with vinegar. Do you put vinegar?
Salt and vinegar. You don't. Yeah, salt and vinegar chips is another one. Because here all the chips are flavored. Can you guess the
corner cafe we used to buy? Big.
Ooh, we had a in Paarl.
Maybe a Russian sausage with it.
And a Russian. Oh my gosh, we would go to the Parkhurst Cafe. And a Russian and chips. And that was the heartburn test. If you can eat that and not get heartburn, you're immune.
Yeah.
And in Paarl, we called it the Cape to 10 Rand because it was Cape to Rio, RIO, but it looked like R10.
It looked like 10 rands.
So we called it, we're going to the Cape to 10 Rand, a lekker big stick of hake, wrapped in that tin, and then newspaper with covered in chips.
Chips and salt and vinegar.
Yeah, so that's one of the foods and words that I miss. But
any other words?
Not that I miss, but what I absolutely love. I don't have any tattoos, and my ideas change frequently. But I think if I do get a tattoo, it's going to be the word kom op.
Kom op.
Kom op, jongen. And that, I think, embodies the Dutch way of doing things.
Yeah, kom op, jongen. But how would you say that in Afrikaans?
Just put in your...
Kom op, seun.
Yeah, kom op. Like, put in your man up. Put in your big old panties and man up. Come on. Let's go. Just get the job done.
Kom op,
jongen. Like that's been direct. Like you slacking a bit.
Yeah.
So you either on the job site.
It's almost like pick up your socks.
Yeah. It's like, come on, pull your weight. Damn it. You know, we're here to do a job. Do it now. So it's kom op, jongen. Or, so if you're doing not bad, so this is like a little lesson to South Africans coming to the Netherlands and start working. If somebody says to you, kom op, that means, come on, pull up your socks.
You're not doing well.
Yeah, and then if you're working extremely hard and doing very well, they'll say, goed gewerkt.
Goed gedaan.
Yeah, goed gewerkt. You're working well. So you aim for a goed gewerkt. But yeah, kom op. It embodies despite any obstacles, you know, being below sea level, crap weather, mediocre food. There are some Dutch dishes which are very nice, and you get used to them.
Yeah.
Frites with H's and saus, frietsaus, a good frietsaus.
Curry saus.
Yeah.
A curry saus.
Of a saute saus.
Of saté. Pindakaas.
They love pinda. The Dutch flavors are pinda, paprika, and I think that's about it. And friet.
And friet, of
anyway,
course.
So yeah, that's another saying. Kom op en goed gewerkt.
Goed gewerkt. And then other South African words that you don't embrace anymore that you used to embrace with your Chinas.
I love embracing the word. I still can't say it, but it's what
Give it a go.
But it's what you call a cat.
Say it. Why not? The puss. I had to get used to that very quickly. A girl was following me in the park saying, yeah, puss, puss. And I was like, who's she calling?
I saw a little girl like, kijk, a puss.
The best is when they come to your house and they say, oh, you have a fijne puss. Oh.
I mean, just the other week, our neighbors went away and, I mean, I played with my neighbor's puss every day. I went over, I fed it, I made sure it had clean water. They got one of those little things with a feather.
I cleaned its litter.
Exactly. So it's still, every time I say it, but it gives me joy that I can say it and not feel...
Do you know which one I like is the askies?
Askies, yeah.
Like I used to always say, askies, you know, if somebody hurt themselves or if something happened, or instead of like sorry or pardon or... You know, shame. They also don't know shame.
Well, do you know what's a good South African saying, and it's come up recently in our family? It's like, Ach, shame, man. That sounds hectic.
Ach, please, Daddy, won't you take me to the drive-in?
Yeah, but ach, man, that's like
Yeah,
when,
ach,
when,
man,
when, when,
askies.
when shit is really bad, it's like,
Yeah.
shame, man.
And
that sounds-
Aina, when you
Aina,
hurt yourself.
yeah,
Aina! And they're like, what's Aina?
Aina is a good one.
Yeah, I love that one. I use that one a lot. Aish, I use a lot.
Yes, Aish.
I never say garage. I say garage.
Garage.
The garage. Serious.
I'm enjoying. I'm not going to butcher it, but I've got a bit bored of doing Dutch on Duolingo.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've started learning Zulu.
Oh, okay, cool. That's nice. I learnt a little bit in school, but
Like ukukwazi and ijanin utanga isowoti.
I love Zulu because everything's E.
It's
Something.
Yeah, like gi and I and it's and I've worked with many Zulus, and they're some fantastic people. When I had my little construction company,
Yeah.
and when you sit in there in your your tin shack that you've built as a site office, eating your Russian and chips with the boys,
Yeah.
it's it's refreshing.
Yeah. You know what I miss?
It's something that I miss.
Yeah.
anyway,
What I miss is the car guards. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
sometimes my sister has to pull out of the thing, and I find myself going, come, 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 come,
So you spin.
turn,
madam,
turn, come.
And then the hand
Yeah,
comes,
of
and
course.
then if you just have
But
a mis-
otherwise they say sharp, sharp, sharp,
yeah,
sharp.
like next time, my brother. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, cool. Then I know you're lying. But
I must say that's what I do miss is that like somehow when you're in South Africa and you're all looking in each other's eyes and you're all going through the same shit, load shedding, crime, potholes, beggars, just this complete despair all the time around you, challenges every day.
But kudos to South Africans. We have the ability to make light of it. Because
Of course,
because without that, we would fail. And
I think there's no other choice, Bran. There's no other choice.
When-
If you're South African, and like my friend always says, if you've only got the green mamba, then you got to make it work, meaning the
You
green
gotta
passport, you know?
you got to
and-
follow
yeah.
the path of least resistance.
But I think that's
towards
why
good.
also I am very encouraged with podcasts, with sharing community days with South Africans. It was actually my intention in 2020, before lockdowns hit, to have South African days in the park. And I still want to do that. I just have to work out the laws and the legalities. But just bringing us together
Or
in the sun with some braai going on, couple of booty rolls, couple of music, Cook Sisters, Milk Tat,
just start.
just chill, you know, just enjoy the enjoyment of us, and also allow Dutch people to get to know us.
Of course.
Because as much as we shouldn't be embracing their culture, it's nice for them. I hear now my friends that are Dutch are embracing my language. They're speaking my words. You know, we've got a way in South Africa, we'll
you
say
know-
like, whatever, Trevor. What's
Whatever.
the plan, Stan?
Whatever, Trevor. I'll say that so much.
What's the story, Rory? I don't know why we do that, but we do it, and now I've got people doing that are Dutch, but loving the way that it just
So do you
flings
know,
and flows.
when I'm picking up boxes and putting down boxes and counting things to put them in boxes,
Yeah.
which is a wonder. Sometimes I work with Echte Nederlanders.
Echte Nederlander.
Echte Nederlanders. And there's echt fijne mensen.
Yeah.
And then we have this Bluetooth speaker where we listen to 100% NL or Veronica Sublime. And
538.
yeah,
Or Slang.
of Slam FM. NPO 3.
MPO3 is like SABC.
Yeah, 1, 2, and the NPO 1, NPO 2, NPO 3.
We got it from somewhere.
We got it from somewhere, exactly. And then they'll come and say, nou, speel 'n bietjie Suid-Afrikaanse musiek. And then they always ask, ken jy die antwoord?
Ah, they love the antwoord. They love them. And I think it's not even that. Well, I'm not going to say that and put myself out there, but I didn't notice such a following in South Africa of the antwoord like I notice here, Germany, here in the Netherlands, Belgium. They're all like, if they hear I'm from South Africa, do you know the antwoord? And I'm like,
But that's
how do you know the antwoord?
And let's segue that into pretty much where the world is right now, because a lot of us were born before the internet, and
Yeah.
we have kids. We want a better world life for them. We came to the Netherlands. One of the major reasons why we came here, and there's this song that's trending right now by Oliver Anthony. He went from nothing to be number 1 on iTunes. The rich men north of Richmond. The point is, in today's modern world, it's not going to go away. I believe we need to embrace social media. There's a lot of bad qualities to it. And I think it's up to people like you and me and other people out there to put some good out there in the world. So we must...
Well, that's where I'm at with it. You know, I've got a personal opinion of how it takes away my time.
Yes.
But I don't diss it because I see it as a medium.
Yes.
It's a medium for me to be able to stretch out and reach more people. So people all around the world can hear this. And then I'm going to advertise it on a social media platform. And I'm going to use YouTube. But what it's going to be is good, positive, quality content. And I think that's where I find...
Or with podcasts like me talking, it doesn't necessarily have to be good. It just needs to be out there.
No, it has to be out there. But what I mean is you're not going on there and slamming or trolling people. I think that's where its negativity comes in. When people have opinions about what other people are doing, just let other people express. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be according to your opinion. But social media has made people feel the importance of their opinion. And opinions are like assholes.
Everyone's got one.
Exactly.
This is my eigen mening, and I need to share it with everyone right now. Yes, and with, you know, everyone's broadcasting their highlights of their lives. Let's put some... Let's talk about failures. Let's talk about the journey.
Yeah.
Share it out there to say...
Let's have a laugh as well about what we've experienced, what we come from to where we are at.
You don't need to achieve your version of success and that big holiday and that Ferrari or that promotion or whatever it is to be happy.
No.
You can be happy now while working your ass off.
Trust me, when you get all that things, you will not be guaranteed happiness.
So almost gamify life. Enjoy the game. Play it hard. Play it well. Don't give up. Yeah, so that's just some motivation stuff, man.
It's some time horse coming. Not how many times you fall off the horse, but how many times you get back on.
You get on that thing and you ride.
And you go, and you gallop, and you fall, and you get up, you dust, you get on.
Yussus, my brute.
Yussus.
Yussus, come on.
Yussus.
You can actually, Yussus, kom op, jongen.
Yussus, kom op, jongen. Yeah, actually, it would work well.
It would. Next question.
So yeah, look, I mean, I was going to ask you things about favorite brands. Do you have in South Africa? I can see you wearing 011, but I think that's also
Jelly
just... Who?
Jelly tots.
Jelly tots. We'll just stick to jelly tots for every answer. But anyway, look, I think also what's important to realize is that you're here now. Do you go back often to meet up with family members, or do you hope that they will start coming here in summer months, not in winter?
Let's be honest, I can't afford to.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And that's what makes
that plane ride is just the bugger, man.
It is. So you need to have something saved away for when shit
Get a
hits the
Yussus
fan.
jet.
Get a Yussus jet. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh, Yussus.
Then you don't have to go through... Well, you have to go through customs.
Of course, but you just have to
You
go.
don't have to stand in the queues. You just like arrive at the... jet your way over.
No, I don't know if I want a Yussus jet. That's a lot of money to spend on a fucking transport. Excuse me.
But, whatever it is, let's put it out.
I'm happy with chicken cart.
So no, I don't go back often. But...
Do you see yourself ever returning there?
No. It's a fantastic place. South Africa is a beautiful country. Beautiful cultures. Fantastic people if you meet them on an individual basis. And...
I think your thing is this, kids would never, it can't root. If you've got children, you can't be, like for me, exampling, I could maybe one day decide to go back because I don't have children. But if you have children, you have to root them here. So to go back...
It's a factor that you take into consideration.
Yeah. No, but I do have another friend that was on the podcast and she said 5 years is her visa and after 5 years she'll decide. She might decide to go back, but she's involved in a relationship here, so it's unlikely.
And the Dutch are very good looking.
Yeah.
It's not another thing we can appreciate about.
And tall. Good looking and tall.
Tall and good
and
looking.
direct.
Yes.
You always know where you stand.
Yes.
Even when you're crying in the toilet because it was too harsh.
Can I promote an Instagram account? I have absolutely no affiliation with this gentleman. I've never met him, but I think his content is spot on. It's called Double Dutch.
Double Dutch.
He does these skits about an expat living in South Africa, in the Netherlands.
I wonder if I might even have seen one of his.
You probably have. He is hilarious. Anyway, we're talking about things that we miss in South Africa, favorite brands. Most of the brands, we can get them here. It's things that I miss are my family and my friends. I don't see myself going back to stay, but it's a fantastic place to go on a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I must say, every Dutch person I speak to has nothing but good things to say about South Africa because of going and visiting it. And I understand when you visit the place, it's different to living there or being born there, but it's still to recognize that in all the places I have traveled, there's still a lot I want to see, but in the places that I have traveled, Cape Town, Durban, the Garden Route, Johannesburg, Jose.
Even if you go to Naba Beep, up on the west coast on the way to
Langebaan.
Springbok, it's like there's beautiful places.
Exactly, but the
said
landscapes,
beautiful. I mean,
Drakensberg,
beautiful places in South Africa.
beautiful places. Drakensberg,
Exactly.
Kruger National Park.
We had our honeymoon there.
Oh, wow.
Well, my wife and I.
So beautiful. Not us. Him and his wife.
Exactly.
We had a honeymoon there. No, but that's beautiful. That's what I mean. And when
it's
you
a
look at different
beautiful,
places, even
beautiful
though
country.
the country doesn't run efficiently,
Nope.
that's a bit of micromanaging,
It's just
macro-managing,
yeah,
should I
it's
say,
it's
that
a
needs to
pity
be done.
about,
And it could be one of the beautifulest, best countries in the world.
there is so much potential in South Africa. It's just unfortunate that it is not being capitalized on.
I know. Another thing I wanted to bring up, so the solar panels here, you've seen, are
Yes.
people in Holland are onto their solar paneling.
Th-
They're
the-
ready to use the Earth's magic to help them with their electricity
These
and
are
their
my-
gas. And it's amazing. It's
Yes.
absolutely amazing. But the thing is that their sun is not as strong as the South African sun. And what I find so ironic is that if South Africa just got into gear and put solar panels up, there would be no such thing as a load shedding problem.
Well, we can go down a bit more technical discussion down that road. I've actually done a lot of work, not as an employee of Eskom, but I've been on many Eskom deep inside their power plants, and this is from 2009 onwards, and from then I could already see
Chaos.
stuff's not been well run.
No, but
Because
that's what I'm meaning.
we-
I don't know the technical side of it, but I'm
So
saying in theory,
But
logically, it makes sense to me
but-
that South Africa's sun is up more
yes,
visible,
But I'll-
stronger.
I'll say this. Coming back, another compliment to the Dutch. Despite having terrible weather and very little sun,
Yeah,
they-
they're making it work.
they're making it work, and they do.
But imagine putting the
well.
Dutch mentality into South Africa.
The problem in South Africa is the solar panels are growing. However, they are now being stolen. Because I'm closely related to the industry.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I
solar
accept
panels
that.
are now being
I
targeted.
know, but this is what I mean. Like, that's why I say the potential. It's alive with possibilities. That's definitely the right saying
It's-
that they kept for South Africa.
it's-
Alive with possibilities, but
There are so many.
so much stuff holds them
Yeah,
back.
do you want to experience Ubuntu? I'll say it again.
Come here,
Kom
yeah.
naar Nederland.
Yeah,
There's-
it's true, eh?
People look out for each other. They care for each other. If you need something, somebody will help you.
Yeah,
Even if it's a complete stranger.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. My sister as well, getting on and off of trains with prams here was a huge thing in the beginning of her stay. And she was like, what? The people here just stop what they're doing. Young, old, whatever. Picking up the pram, getting her in. You dropped something, ma'am. Here you go.
I travel frequently on the bus, and there are dedicated seats for pregnant women,
Yes.
people with disabilities,
Yes.
and the aged.
Yes.
And if the bus is full and people are sitting in those seats, and if one of the, somebody with a baby, or somebody struggling with a small child, or somebody old, somebody with a walking stick or a Zimmer, whatever, walks in, the people will stand up and they'll move.
Yeah.
The seat
I've
is
seen
for
it
you.
too. And I've also actually done it myself just because that's who I am. But I've noticed that here, people are a lot more consciously living in a mindful way because they're following a system. This is what's said. There's rules, and we follow
it's a-
these rules. And in order
it's
to
a
follow these
good
rules,
system.
you're able to live in a space where you have safety and security,
Yes.
and people are looked after, and you pay the tax that you need to pay. And we'll use that to make sure that we keep everything upgraded and uplifted and have a street party every now and again, or a carnival,
the
or whatever.
roads work, the water's clean,
Yeah.
there's electricity, my kids are safe. there's a joke that I absolutely love. It's an image of, you claim to be gangster. I grew up on the streets. How can you call yourself a gangster in the Netherlands when the streets are so clean and there's speeltuinen everywhere? It's like,
do you know how many times I live here in the Binnenstad, and do you know how many times in the beginning when I got here, I just felt like I was on a movie set.
yes.
I would wake up, open my windows, and it would feel like, okay, everybody's getting ready in position and we're going to go action. And then at night, it felt like, okay, everybody's leaving set, because it just looks like a movie set.
It's beautiful here.
It's wonderful. But it's also, you have got things that are being paid, like high taxes in South Africa. But the taxes are being used for the right reasons.
I mean, every country's got crime. Every political party is going to...
Yeah, fiddle bits. Yeah, I think ours is that Mari biscuit advert. Do you ever remember
one
it?
for you, one for me.
One for you, one for me.
Here it's more like you guys we all get the same.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a politician, I get a fair salary. And
But I think also South Africans might have a resistance to the rules, because back in the day, or living in South Africa, you've got rules, but you fight them because they're not serving you, or you're not looked after. So you're on the alert, you're on the attack, ready to survive. So whatever comes at you, you're like pa 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 pa.
And that brings up the point of the resourcefulness of South Africans, the willingness to work. And if you put that resourcefulness and that grind in a country
like this,
you can just see these opportunities. You literally just got to reach out and pick it.
Yeah, and then sometimes you don't pick it because it's like, is this too good to be true? Is this a trap?
Exactly.
Can it be this easy? Oh no.
I mean, sure, you got to just jump through little logistical hurdles, and then it's...
Be interviewed and looked at. And last question to you is twofold. Do you have a favorite tradition of South Africa that you now bring into your life here?
Jeez Louise, off the top of my head, I would have to say traditions from my own home would be...
What's a favorite traditional thing you would do?
It's not traditionally South African, but it's prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Before meals and at bedtime. We don't always get it right, but we try. And
family gatherings, possibly.
That's also a good one. We do the Sunday lunch from time to time.
I was just going to say, like the Sunday lunch, braai, whatever it is, you gather together, day for family.
And it doesn't have to be this big groot thing. We've invited our neighbors over for just a roast chicken and some veggies. Like, wow, this is so much food, because normally it would just be some salt.
Stampot.
A stampot, which is a bit of soup. But we personally very blessed to have, on my wife's side, some family members here. We have made some friends through school in the Dutch and expat community, and it'll be okay. If you come over here, you will make friends. Just don't be an arsehole. Just be good. Just be nice. You will make friends, and then you can have them over every now and then for like a Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
So that would be, and then we've been invited to their houses for Sunday lunch.
Nice.
So it's
you're starting your own traditions here from what bits and pieces of old traditions you did in South Africa.
And
that's cool.
That'll be a nice one. Someone get all reminiscent now.
And I want to know now, do you have another message or any message to South Africans that are still living in South Africa and that are living abroad? Is there something that you want to share as, I don't know, something, maybe a slogan that you work off with Time Horse or...
Being obviously not prepared enough for this podcast, I did think to myself, come on, Bran, you need to have like some excellent closing line, which I've completely forgotten. But but I think I will end with, in the Time Horse spirit of working consistently over time towards good. Yussus, kom op jongen.
That's an awesome one. Thank you. And thank you so much for doing this podcast. If anybody wants to check out Bran, you could go to Time Horse 420. He's on YouTube, Instagram.
And
Are you a
TikTok.
Facebook? Oh, TikTok as well.
And Facebook.
TikTok went over my head. But anyway, so Bran is on TikTok, in Instagram, and on YouTube.
And
Time Horse 420. Check him out.
And coming on LinkedIn as well.
And coming in
On LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn.
There
They're
we go.
dropping the slide.
We're stopping this, yeah. So thank you very much for the promote.
Yeah, that's
the-
cool.
the
Thank
way-
you for your time. You've got 4 cook sisters taking them home for
And
you and your family.
I'm gonna definitely take some of that milk tart.
Oh, of course, you got it. You got it.
And to anyone that's gonna listen to this, come down to here on the Oudegraag and come and get some echte Zuid-Afrikaanse toetjes en trakteertjes.
A schmack of South Africa.
Beetje smaak. South
Bikkie,
Africans
bikkie.
en de Nederlanders, iedereen zijn welkom.
I love that. Thank you, Bran.
Go Time Horse.
Go Time Horse.
Yussus.
Go Yussus. Yussus, Time Horse.
Yes, bro.
Yes, like. What a lekker chat and lach. Thank you, Bran, the man. Your humor, insight, and Time Horse way is inspirational and fun. And I'm positive that your open mindset and heart will bring you abundance and joy. So again, we can see that South Africans have left to explore the world for so many different reasons. Safety has to be the number one reason so far, but it's also mind-boggling to witness how many South Africans have heritage in other countries around the world, especially the Netherlands. And it shows too that South Africa is filled with a variety of cultures and heritages, all in one nation. So it's no wonder we are known as the Rainbow Nation. So come on, rainbow people around the world, let's get chatting and let's connect the dots of our lekker culture and explore our different heritages. And remember, as Bran says, in the Time Horse spirit of working consistently towards good, Yussus, kom op jonge.